In the Upstate, Fox Carolina's Anna Arender spoke with one man who worked as a volunteer on his campaign, saying we need more leaders like Carter in Washington. Anna?
Well, Joe Erwin says that he was sad to hear of the news of the former president passing, as there are so many of us that are very sad when we first heard that news. But living a long, beautiful, impactful 100 years of life, he will be remembered for decades to come. Now, in the 1970s, Erwin worked as a volunteer for the Carter for President campaign, even recalling a picture that he took back in high school that actually made it into his yearbook of him wearing a Carter for President t-shirt. This all happening on the heels of Watergate, so there was a bitter taste in the mouths of Americans and the eyes and hearts of them surrounding politics. And then in walks Jimmy Carter.
I was pretty involved in government and politics even as a teenager, so I knew who he was, but he was on the national scene. He was truly unknown, and when he entered the race for president, nobody gave him any chance at all. He had to remind everybody that he was running for president. He made a joke about it. Yeah, I'm Jimmy Carter and I'm running for president. He said that to start every speech he ever made. And, you know, he just caught fire as a fresh face, as somebody who was anti-Washington. We see some of that sentiment today even. And at that time, it was what America needed to hear. So it was, for all of us, it was our first chance to vote in a presidential election. So Carter's strategy and his team's strategy was to go after that youth vote. So yes, as a volunteer for Carter for president in South Carolina, it was an exciting time for teenagers to make a difference in national politics.
Now, in July of 1971, Amendment 26 was ratified, lowering the voting age to 18, adding an excitement for voters to really have their voices heard for the very first time. He says Carter comes into Washington wanting to invoke change, and although he only served one term, it was the way that he lived his life outside of his presidency that carried forward his legacy through his mission and his humanitarian work. For Fox Carolina, I'm Anna Arender.